Welcome to the Piano Man podcast. Today I speak with drummer and piano entertainer Frank Duindam from the Netherlands. We talk about his performing and touring as a blues drummer and his take on piano entertaining. Let's get into it. So, welcome to the podcast, Frank.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you here, mate.
Yeah.
So you're pretty new to this. How long have you been playing as a piano entertainer for?
As a piano entertainer now, I think for almost 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Or one and a half year, something about that.
Yeah.
And before that, I was only a drummer.
Yeah.
I did that. I started with piano gigs as a drummer. I think 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Or a little more, I think 12 years ago.
Yeah. You've been playing with Jongens of Weet.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
For the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you're the third drummer that's converted to a player that I've interviewed.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
So there was Rudy Spike and...
Yeah, and you.
Oh, and me.
So,
Oh,
and you're the third.
Yeah.
So what prompted you to shift from being a drummer to being a piano entertainer?
In the beginning, I started playing piano when I was 10 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
And it was more when you play back home as a drummer, it's nice to play on your own, play along with songs. But if you play alone without any other musicians, it doesn't sound very nice if you only hear a drum set.
Yeah.
I started playing piano because I wanted to play nice songs on my own.
Yeah.
So that's why I started to play piano.
But that's when you were really young, yeah?
Yeah.
But what made you change from playing drums in this kind of environment to being a piano entertainer?
That started when there was a request. I knew maybe 5 or 10 songs back in the days on the piano, and there was a request, and I knew the song and the piano player don't. So I said, "Oh, shall I play it?" "Oh, okay." And I played it. It was really bad, but it was fun to do. So I thought, let's prepare a couple songs. And also when there were new songs coming out, then I tried to learn these new songs so we can switch. It's also nice when you play every week at the same gig. That you also, when we played in Breda, it was always a 2-hour set. It's very long, but if you have switched instruments, then the set feels shorter.
Oh yeah.
And I did the schedule for the Jongens van Weet for a couple of years, and we had a major schedule problem issue. That we need one more piano player, but I called everyone and asked everyone if you know somebody, and also all these people weren't available for that date.
Yeah.
So, and we had to find a piano player for Utrecht, and the sound system was very bad. There was a limiter, so you couldn't hear if somebody was playing well or not. So I just I started as a joke for Bayman. So yeah, man, shall I learn 60 sing-along songs?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna play piano there. Yeah. If we can't find somebody, let's do that. And that was just, I think the Corona started in March, I think, and the gig will be
2021, wasn't it?
Yeah. Or 22. 21, no.
Yeah, 21.
And the gig was 1 month after Corona started, so the gig never happened. But when Corona started, I was already busy with learning these 60 songs. And then Corona started, so I had more time to practice. I learned a couple 100 songs.
Oh, great.
And I thought, because when the gig will be there, then I'm prepared. More than enough.
Perfect timing, really.
It was, yeah. But Corona took longer than expected. So
what, 2 years?
About 2 years, yeah. I got the...
On and off, wasn't it?
Sorry?
It was on and off. Like it started, but then it stopped, and then it started, and it stopped. I think it started twice or 3 times before it stopped. It's like, no, it's not working.
But as every musician, I also had a hard time because all your income is gone.
That was a tough time, man.
It's a tough time. I did a couple of jobs and still didn't earn enough money to pay my bills.
Yeah.
So I have to live from my savings.
Yeah.
So then I decided to learn another skill. I learned online marketing.
Yeah.
And I worked as a marketing consultant for online marketing. So I thought I have to learn a skill that I can use after Corona as well.
Yeah.
so I'm still doing some online marketing.
Yeah.
And but when Corona was over, there was also some issues in the schedule, and then I remembered Bayman. Man, it's been a while that I learned them. But I think when it's dueling, then I might can do the gig as well as a piano player.
Yeah.
So Bayman said, "Okay, let's try it once," and that went well enough. So that's why I started to play piano.
Cool.
And I like the combination a lot. So that you sometimes play drums, sometimes play piano.
Yeah.
So you have more variety of the gig.
That's cool. And how did you find the transition? Did you find it difficult or?
Some things are difficult because when I play drums, it's like riding a bicycle for a Dutchman.
Yeah.
But so I don't have to think about it when I play drums.
Yeah.
But if I play piano, I have to keep my
I mean, it's not just,
with it.
you're not just playing piano. You're playing piano and singing and entertaining. You're doing 3 things at once, and actually 4 things if you're playing left-hand bass, piano, singing, entertaining the crowd, and then occasionally playing brass stuff. That's a lot of things to think about if you've just first time, here you go. Even if you're a good piano player, that's difficult. That's not easy, you know. It's a whole nother skill set, you know.
Yes, it is. But I also choose the songs that are not too difficult to play piano because I'm not from originally I'm not a piano player, so I can't play these fancy solos or fancy stuff on the piano.
Yeah.
But I choose to learn songs that are easier to play and well known for the crowd.
Yeah.
So you can make everybody happy and can play them a lot of requests.
Yeah. And we've talked about this a lot with other musicians on the channel here, is that really for this particular job, the most important thing is the sum of all parts rather than the skill of playing piano or, you know, I mean, you've got to be good enough that you can play chords and bass.
Yeah.
And as long as it's pretty solid, it doesn't need to be fancy.
No.
You know, so, you know, a lot of players have come with less skill in playing and more skill in entertaining, or the entertaining part becomes more developed.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you don't actually use a lot of piano skills in that are, you know, you can do, but it's definitely it's not a requirement. You know, and you can get by better with less piano skills than you can with less entertaining skills.
Yeah.
Without that, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, and that's the same with the drummer because I learned a lot of fancy skills on the drums, but there is maybe one time a month you use these fancy skills as a drummer.
Exactly.
Or if you use them, then people look almost mad at you because then they think, man, what are you doing?
Exactly.
That's not in a song.
No, it's funny. My view on the drummer is if I don't notice you the whole night, you've done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Because you just carried the whole situation without me even feeling like I had to think about you. If I have to think about what you're doing, it means you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, can imagine.
And then I'm looking over going, oh, I'm uncomfortable. What's happening here? What's he doing? Where's he going? Or, you know, he's not listening. He's not looking at me. Or, you know, but then if I'm just playing and you're just there, you know, I mean, because most of the time all these songs are just simple rock beats or, you know, or a soca that just is eternal, goes on forever, you know, and that's really, there's no need to be fancy with that, is there?
No.
You know, that's an interesting perspective. And then I guess you would find that you have that perspective about drummers when you're playing. I mean, like, what are you looking for as a drummer, piano player, from a drummer?
I'm very happy when the drummer sings.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I'm a better entertainer than I'm a singer.
Mm-hmm.
So if the drummer also sings along with me, then it's mostly sounds better.
Supporting, yeah.
Yeah, supporting me,
Uh-huh.
and it's always also important that he stays in time, and know the songs a little bit, so they have the right beat. And it would be nice if they. I also like it when they do these fancy chops because I'm a drummer. I find it funny or cool that a drummer sometimes, a couple of times in the evening, does any fancy
Like
chops,
stops and
chops.
stuff. Yeah.
But that's not necessary.
Yeah.
That's not necessary.
Actually, no, that's really interesting. I find with drummers that, and I was wondering what you thought of this. I always find there's always an issue with some drummers, and definitely not all of them, especially the well-experienced ones, that tend to speed up or slow down, right? And this is a real problem, especially for a singer. It's a problem because if you're going too slow or too fast, it changes the whole feel of the vocal, And sometimes it's going too fast and you can't even sing the words. Yeah. It's going so slow you feel like you're moving in slow motion. And I've always wondered, why is this happening? Why is this person so far away from the tempo, even though I counted it in, right? Yeah, my theory is, and I'm wondering if you would agree with this, is that if they don't know the song, then they don't know the tempo and they don't know where it should sit. So they can most of the time end up too fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just, too slow happens less, but someone who really doesn't know the song is so enthusiastic about trying to do it right that they push.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
And I find because this is from my experience as me as a musician, if I'm wanting to do well or I'm trying, which means I'm overcompensating. So I tend to play too quickly.
Yeah.
I tend to count things in too quickly. And then I'm like in the song and I think, oh shit, I've done this too quickly. Yeah. And so I always wondered, what's the issue here with the drummer? Why is he too fast? Would you agree with this, or do you have a different theory?
I got you what you say. And when I started as a drummer with these piano gigs, it was sometimes quite confusing what tempo was right or what the piano player will expect. Because if you start as a drummer, then you play maybe in 1 month with 5 or 6 new piano players.
Yeah, and they all have different tempos.
And they all have different tempos for every song.
Yeah.
There are also piano players that play in front of the beat with their left hand and more laid back with their right hand, and they sing in somewhere between it. Uh-huh. So you don't know if they want to play faster or play slower.
Uh-huh.
And it's even getting worse when you don't know the song as a drummer.
Yeah.
Then you think, okay, which one do I need to follow? Am I in the right tempo? Do I understand his cues? So if you play for the first time with a drummer that don't know all the songs and don't get the cues, then it can be very, very difficult night for both of.
It's actually, that's a really
musicians.
Good point you make. Is that you're playing with more than one piano player, so everybody has a different interpretation, which means a different tempo, and a different feel.
Sure.
So you might be thinking, oh, that song, it goes like this, but it doesn't, because this is somebody new.
Yeah.
And it goes like they should. So it's really tricky.
It's tricky, but if you talk with the drummer about it, so if you say, okay, I started the song on the piano, and when I go to the bass, I want you to start. And if you have clear cues for the drummer to say, okay, this is what some piano players lay back a little bit when they want to slow down, or just acting like this to pump up the tempo.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. No, I do that sometimes when I'm push. I do this, but to slow down, I'll sing behind the beat.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But, the thing is,
but the drummer don't always listen to the vocal. I can. I think I can say.
Or I'll slow down the bass as well. Yeah. But the thing is with that is that the problem with that is that drummers might think that you're slowing down not intentionally. Yeah. And they'll be like, no, here's the beat, dude.
Yeah.
And that's that dilemma. And of course, that's the drummer's job, so I understand that. But I often will say to a drummer before I start that I've never played with this, look, I'm going to give you cues. If I want to play slower, I'm going to play behind you.
Yeah.
That means slow down.
That helps if you say it.
But the problem with that is that people hear it. Yeah. And if you're slowing the thing down, unless the drummer catches it straight away, you sound like you're having a fight on stage with the tempo, you know? And that's a good idea to lay back is like, that's a subtle sign,
Yeah.
And that might work better. And that's something I'm going to give a go here for sure. Thanks for that tip, man.
There are some piano players that do that. Maybe not.
Who does that? Tell me.
I'm not sure who's
What about
doing
Ben?
that.
Does Ben do that?
Maybe yes. Yeah,
I could imagine Ben would do that.
doing
That's something
that.
he would do.
But I can't remember who else is doing it. But I know that there's some cues that more people do. But the most important thing as a drummer is that I always have to watch the piano player when he's doing a cue or not.
So
And if you play a lot with the same piano players, you sometimes don't have to watch them every second, because then you sometimes hear in their playing that what they want. Or I think that I know to hear what.
Well,
I
guess
want.
they'd tell you if they weren't happy with it.
Yeah,
most of the time.
Hopefully.
Well, some people don't, because they don't want to be bothered with the confrontation.
Yeah.
And even I do that with players that I don't think I'll ever see again. It's like, why would I have this whole thing? This is how I want you to work if I don't think I'm going to play with them again.
No.
Best thing to do is say, great job, thanks, it was great fun playing with you, and leave it happy. And then if you were going to future play with them further, then maybe you would say, hey, last time we did this, but
Yeah, that is nice.
Because I think it's really fine line, a balance between, asking for what you want and also keeping a good relationship.
Yeah, a good vibe on stage
a good vibe on
Everyone
stage,
sees
You
that.
can't be like, dude, slow down. What the fuck are you doing? Because that's just so toxic that then he's going to be timid and then people are going to see it, and then there's a bit of discourse happening. And then that just kills the whole vibe.
Yeah.
I've learnt that the hard way by doing right and wrong,
Yeah, the crowd feels that,
Yeah, it's a tough one, but sometimes you just can't help but cringe when someone's really just not reading you right,
Yeah.
Like it's a knee-jerk reaction for me. It's like, oh God, no, what are you doing? Like, and I really have to try hard to control that, because that will also have an impact on their playing.
Yeah.
It'll make them play worse, and you've got to kind of find a way of, getting through that, And I was going to say before that, you've got a really interesting situation now. So you actually still play drums sometimes, but then also do the piano gig as well.
Yeah, sure.
That's really interesting.
It is, yeah.
Just a quick one though, if we could digress a little bit. Before you got into the dueling pianos and drums, you were also a musician playing in bands and stuff. And you play in other bands now, don't you?
Yes. I did a lot of blues gigs.
So is that a lot of shuffles?
A lot of shuffles, a lot of shuffles. And so I had an own blues band called Sugar Boy and the Sinners. That band doesn't exist anymore, but we played a lot. Back in the days also, we went to the United States, to Italy, almost the half of Europe we played.
Wow.
And we made an album. We did a lot of gigs.
Is it on Spotify?
It is on Spotify. You can see the link in the description.
I'll put that in for sure. No, I'll put that in.
And also as a backup band, pickup band for guitar players from the States or from Canada or Australia that comes to Europe. Yeah. There are some artists that are not famous enough to get their whole band to Europe. So what they do is they just pick the main artist, and then they arrange a pickup band in Europe. So sometimes you have to. We flew to Madrid, and then the guitar player comes from New York, and the piano player came from London, and we meet up there and do a tour. That's also what I did a lot before Corona, because now when during Corona I got 2 new kids, 2 new sons.
Yeah, hey.
And I don't want to be.
Lots of time, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of time, a lot of traveling.
Well, I meant lots of time to make 2 new kids.
Yeah, but sometimes you're 1, 2, 3 weeks on the road.
Yeah.
And for now, I think it's too long because they're happening so much with the kids. So I think I'm gonna do that in a couple of years again.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing blues gigs as a drummer.
Yeah.
Also with Saron Crenshaw, that's a guitar player from New York. He's come a couple of times a year to the Netherlands.
Hey, I wonder if you played with Australian guitarists before?
Yes, it was David Gogo.
Oh, okay.
Or was he from Canada? I'm not sure.
There's another guy that comes quite often. He used to tour a lot here. He did it with his band, but I also think he did it a few times without his band. His name is Marco Fideli.
No.
Heard of him? Okay.
No. But I'm not sure. There's also a singer I played with, Leila Zoe, but I'm also not sure if she was from Canada or Australia.
Okay.
But I did many supported many guitar players. Also, and I also played with a boogie woogie piano player, Mr. Boogie Woogie.
Oh, right.
Also did the theater tour with him, Fats Domino's tribute.
Oh, okay.
And
Where's he from?
He's from the Netherlands.
Oh.
Yeah. We also toured in the States with this
What's his name?
Erik Jan Overbeek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overbeek.
Really good piano player. He now lives in the States.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of times a
Yeah,
year.
Boogie Woogie, that's the place to be. That's where it's big, man. Boogie Woogie's really popular in the States.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone likes it here too.
Yes, it is. Yeah, but
it's big there.
Yeah, but the crowd here is very old. So yeah, is crowd was, yeah, the theater tour was getting less and less busier because the public gets older and older and older and too old to go to the theater.
Yeah,
almost.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, from that genre. Yeah.
Yeah, from the genre. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sad story because it's a nice genre and it's cool to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, see if it happening. I think with us, with this trade of piano entertaining, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It had its heyday, I think, really, but it's evolved. It's evolved a lot. I mean, what it used to be, there was a lot more American influence on it, and now it's really, for us here in the Netherlands, it's evolved into more of a Netherlands thing, you know, and you know, I mean, that's because new people have come in that don't know the old ways.
Yeah.
And it's also the audience has gotten younger. So, you know, they have...
Or the audience stays the same age and we are getting older.
Well, the audience is a lot younger. You know, I mean, like, as in they're more modern, so they have different influences, like with social media and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so their attention span is different. What they think is cool is different. You know, I mean, for example, in Crazy Pianos, 25 years ago, we had a lot more, you know, hula hoops and boards with la 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 on them, and we did a lot more dress up and wigs. We did a lot more interaction. A lot of that has gone to more, you know, kind of music, dance music, and controlling the crowd in a dance situation or in a party situation, but less of the show. And I don't know if that's, I mean, I would say that's generally across the board in the Netherlands. You don't see people doing that anymore, you know. I kind of wanted to bring it back because I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
In the early days, we used to do theatre shows where we got people on stage and we did stuff like that.
Okay.
With dancing and stuff. And even that's less now. I mean, you're still communicating with people over the microphone and that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But having actual physical interaction, like you do it quite a bit when at the Familiar Live, when you bring up a guest and you get them to sing with you,
Sure,
know?
yeah.
And you get the audience to come up. I mean, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But there used to be many of those things, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And it's just become less and less. And I'm not really sure if it's because the audience don't appreciate it as much or the players have lost the skill. I probably think it's more the latter.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
You know, I mean, it's changed into more of a nightclub thing rather than a piano bar, which is more traditional American. I mean, America still does that a lot.
Okay.
They're more slapstick. They're more, you know, silly lyrics where they get people to sing, and you know, it's more because I think the whole concept came from, you know, being around the piano in the lounge room and everybody singing along, and it's developed into something from that. But then it's left America, and it's come here, and it's developed into what it is today.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
How do you find that? Do you agree with that, or
Yeah, I don't have the experience from 25 years ago.
No,
but
okay,
but I have the experience that Baymin always tried to learn me some of these rules that's been told to him back in the days.
Yes, he's pretty good with that. He's you know, yes and being on.
Yeah, yes and no dead air and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, no negative connotations.
Yeah,
yeah,
and but yeah, there's, I think, overall in general, there's always a bit of it still exists, and people are still doing it. But yeah, there are some parts of the Netherlands maybe also that the people are not used to do things that been told to a guy from the States, so that they feel it's not appropriate to do what they say,
Yeah, yeah.
or they need a lot of alcohol to do something. Um, I got a feeling if you go, the more you go to the north of the Netherlands, the more you have that, and the more you go to the south, the more people do what you ask them to do. I don't know if you have experienced the same.
That's funny because I play very north and I play very south.
Yeah,
And
but
yes, look, I'd say you'll find in, Brabant and even Limburg,
yeah,
is it more people getting into it,
yeah,
But it's funny because then I play Leeuwarden and that's a huge party. That's massive.
yeah. But then
But they're more
but
into
let me say,
dancing and
then you
stuff.
probably have students in front of you.
No.
Also
they're
with
mixed.
business
So I
events.
play in the Brouwerij. I don't know if you know that place, but it's absolutely chocker packed with people.
Okay, cool.
And they do love Dutch music and they do the the Polonaise and so.
Okay,
But what they really do prefer is like rock and roll,
okay, yeah,
actually. And that's more popular in the north than the whole Netherlands music,
yeah.
which is more popular in Brabant
Yes, it
and
is. Yeah,
Limburg. So
yeah,
so I see what you're saying actually.
yeah.
Now they won't react to the same things, but if you play in the north, boogie woogie and rock and roll, that'll get more of a reaction
Sure, I
than
think so. Yeah.
sometimes. Except I've got to say, I played Links Rex the other day because of the football. The whole place did it, and
Okay,
normally
cool.
if I do Links Rex in the north, they don't participate.
No.
But because of the football, everybody's doing it at the moment because of the Euro Cup.
Okay, cool.
Have you seen the on social media of the Netherlands fans doing it in the street?
Yes, I
Yeah.
see it. Yeah,
And I think that's just made a massive impact.
sure.
That song's become huge again,
Yeah,
It was number one in Germany.
in Germany.
Yeah, it was
The
number
Dutch
one.
song.
Yeah,
Is
Links
it?
Rex. It was
I
number one in Germany
I
a
missed
few
that.
weeks ago.
I missed that.
Yeah, so that was bizarre. Just because of
That's
that.
good for Snollebolleke.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Stolabolic is such a funny thing, isn't it? It's like one guy or two guys, a semi DJ producer and a guy that jumps
Yeah.
around on stage.
Yeah,
And yet, this is a lot of this in the Netherlands, yeah?
it is. Yeah,
This kind of music. It's really interesting.
yeah.
I find it really cool. Can you tell me what musically, what about your influences? Do you have any cool, well, any influences for that matter?
I like a lot of music, but yeah, when I started playing the drums when I was 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
I mostly prefer the music with drums in it, so more rock music, and when I was asked for my first band, then it was Joris Krijger who asked me, "Yeah, man, should we play in a blues band?" I never heard blues music, but I said, "Okay, nice idea, I'm with you." So then he learned me some blues music, which I also listened a lot. And I prefer a lot of music, only not the extreme music like the hardstyle or hardcore or metal. I can't follow that. And also with jazz, I like some bebop, but I don't like these very fancy jazz music that like the jazz music where there's no beat. I can't follow that as well. But I like a lot of music. And for example, last Thursday I was at a concert of Bruce Springsteen in Nijmegen.
Oh, how was it?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in Nijmegen. That's really
Yeah, he
cool.
played there on Thursday and Saturday.
How many people were there?
I didn't count it them, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's around 60,000.
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow, that's
a lot
huge.
of people.
So it was in a stadium.
And I also saw one piano player there.
Really, who?
Yeah, there was the guy from Say Keys. That's Harry.
Oh,
Harry
yeah.
van Grinsven.
He's actually from that way. Is he from Eindhoven or Limburg or so?
Somewhere in the south.
Utrecht.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and I've seen him once play crazy piano. He's really good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a nice player. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
I've
I
seen
was quite
playing
impressed with him.
in the Renesse. He also played there at the venue where the Jongens Weet also plays every year.
Oh, okay.
and I've seen him there, and I also I'm not sure, but I think we once played in one of the venues of Jongens, Weet a couple of years ago.
Uh,
Yeah.
did Ben go? Because I know he's a big fan.
To Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, he
What
wasn't
day
there.
was it on?
On Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's working.
But I also like, for example, the Foo Fighters or Mumford and
They're
Sons.
great.
The
They're both
Script,
great bands.
the
Yeah.
Killers.
Yeah.
But also
Do you get Mr. Brightside requested a lot?
sometimes, yes.
Yeah. That one seems to be coming back and forward. Like
Yeah,
occasionally, lately, I've got that requested a lot.
yeah.
And I think with the age group of mid-30s, people are really into that song.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I don't know why it came back. Maybe because of social media. I'm not that much on social media, so
Yeah, I mean, because it's an old song. I think
Yeah.
is it from the 90s or something?
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't know because I never really got into it until I had to play it,
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is a cool song, yeah.
Yes, it is.
And so another question I had for you was about singing in different languages. Now you're Dutch,
Yeah.
and your main language is Dutch, but you sing in Dutch and English and anything else?
Phonetical Spanish.
Yes? Okay. It's very interesting because, I sing in a lot of different languages. I mean, but I don't speak all the languages, not even remotely. I speak 2 of them, but I might sing in 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And like you said, we learn them phonetically.
Yeah,
Well, what
that's
I
it.
tend to do myself is I like to know what I'm saying, so I learn the meaning of it, and then it all goes away, and I've totally forgotten.
Okay.
But what other languages do you sing in?
Phonetically, that depends on the song. But some Spanish songs
Yeah.
phonetically.
Yeah.
Or Italian.
Yeah.
Or what else?
No, Portuguese.
Portuguese,
Yeah.
yes. Also,
One Portuguese song.
yeah, one Portuguese like everyone does.
Yeah, I see to pego.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's all. That's it. I think that's it.
How do you find singing in a different language, especially ones that you learn phonetically? Are you very self-conscious of that? Does that bother you sometimes, especially if you have Spanish speakers in the house?
No, I don't bother at all. No, then I maybe sometimes ask people like hablo español, and then if somebody's reacting, then I say okay, yo hablo español, mi hablo español un poco, or no
Yeah.
hablo español,
Yeah.
and then I say in Spanish like, oh, I'm not speaking Spanish, so
Yeah.
don't be mad at me, or
Yeah.
then I more make it as a joke.
Yeah.
Then take it really seriously and try to sing every song as every word as it is, because I can't speak the language, and it also and it never will sound totally the same as
Uh-huh.
a Spanish guy will do it.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing in that is that the first phrase and the last phrase of every sentence is almost right, and then the thing between it, that's discussable. That you can freestyle a little bit.
Yeah.
That people
That
still
happens.
recognize it. Yeah, and if you do that, also when some sentences repeats, then you see people singing these freestyle with you, because there's a little bit of delay when people sings along with you when they don't know the song.
Yeah.
So that sometimes when you just mix up the words, and people sometimes sing these mixed up words
Yeah,
as well.
which is bizarre.
And that's bizarre. I see that a lot when playing with Benjamin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, but hang on, you're Spanish and you're singing the wrong words.
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, just regular people. Yeah.
Just regular people. Yeah.
Oh, well, when I say regular people, Dutch people or that don't speak Spanish.
Yeah,
Of course, that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't know what they're singing either.
No.
It's really bizarre. I find like in Norway, I sing Icy to Pego, everybody knows the words. Everybody sings along perfectly with it.
Oh.
Yeah, in Norway,
Okay.
they all know this Portuguese song. They all know all the words to Despacito, which blows my mind because there's a lot of words.
Yeah, there's a lot of words.
And you think, what the hell? Where are you guys coming from? I mean, they're pretty multilingual, but that's crazy,
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of songs that are part of the culture,
Okay.
And same in the Netherlands.
But do they also understand what the song is about?
I have no idea. Never asked.
Huh.
But they have actions. They do, the actions of the song. I think it's more just cultural songs.
Okay.
And so for some reason, they've picked up the words really well.
Yeah.
It's like,
But,
wow.
but do you feel comfortable when you sing these songs and you know that there are Spanish people in the room?
No, I
No?
don't. No. I find that very intimidating sometimes, especially when you really suck and you're making up words, just like what you say. Because, suavemente, bésame, suave. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you got and you might see like I had this once in Crazy Pianos, and what's his name, Tabas, the manager
Yeah.
there. He's like looking at me like, "What are you doing?" It's like, wow, dude, these people don't even know. They don't
No.
speak Spanish, so
No.
please don't look at me while I'm doing
And if
this.
somebody reacts very negative, then it's a nice hook to get to them after the song. Say, okay, sorry, I messed up the last song because I don't speak any Spanish
But I did my
song
best,
very
yeah,
well.
yeah.
I did my best to play the request. How can I make you happy again? Is there a song that you want to hear from me
Yeah.
that is not Spanish,
Yeah.
so I can make you happy again?
Yeah.
And if you have that approach, then they can't be mad at you.
Have you had
because-
that before?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw these Spanish people were laughing at me and they
Yeah.
were filming, and I said, okay, and I stopped the song and said, no, you're not allowed to film me because this is not real Spanish. And then then they were laughing, but I saw that they really knew that the lyrics wasn't right.
No, yeah.
So then I asked them, okay, sorry, you messed up the Spanish song.
Yeah.
How can I make you happy again? Or
Yeah, right. That's an interesting approach.
Yeah.
No,
because if you don't take it too serious,
yeah.
then there's also a relaxed vibe, I think. Yeah, but it's better if you can't play it, because there are guys that are very good in Spanish, and it sounds really good. And also, like people from Spain or that speak Spanish,
Yeah.
that are blown away if you nail the lyrics, if you first speak in Dutch and sings in English and then do a perfectly
Yeah, I do try. I really want to sing whatever it is in whatever language properly. I always find I just want to do it because it's a challenge. You know. Now I don't have time to learn thousands of songs, so sometimes they go on the back burner. And actually, to be honest, at the moment, my Spanish songs are the last on the list. I have a few, but generally I'm still going with the Dutch music. There's so much Dutch music. It's just insane. And because I live in the Netherlands, I find that more practical.
Yeah.
But there's also Norwegian stuff that I'm learning, and that's more a priority than Spanish. But the funny thing about Spanish music is it works everywhere.
Yes.
It works in every country. Yeah, except Australia maybe. But
yeah. They don't like Spanish songs?
No, they probably do. They think it's okay, but it's not part of the culture.
Okay.
Because Germany is not multilingual at all.
Okay.
It's a very English, that's it, place, you know. And if you have people that speak other languages, they speak them in isolated incidences. They're not part of a curriculum. They're not, most people in the Netherlands speak 2 or 3 languages. You know, you have to. You go to school, you're going to learn English as a Dutchman, and you're going to probably learn German or French as well.
Yeah.
That's part of a compulsory
And also
education.
some high schools you learn Spanish as well.
Yeah, or you have the option to do so, or you have the option to learn a Slav language or something, And that, we do have language curriculum there, but the other thing is you don't get to use it in Australia. Whereas here, if you learn German, you can use it. You can go on holiday 3 hours away and speak German with Germans.
Yeah, or have a part-time job as a high school student in a restaurant. Then you also have to speak German the whole day.
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely true. Yeah, because you've got the tourists. There's a lot of German tourists. I find that really, and I think German is also closer to the Netherlands to Dutch than it is to English.
It is. It is easy to understand as a Dutchman to understand German.
Yeah, I think so. Another question for you: crazy gig story. Do you have any good crazy gig stories?
Yeah,
for us?
he sent me a list of questions, and this was one of these questions. I thought, okay, what should I which story should I tell?
There's a lot, huh?
Yeah, you can come up with every crazy story when everybody gets drunk, or that you almost miss your flight because because you were still in the bar, or you were not at the hotel and the taxi was there to pick you up, or But there was one interesting story that still keeps in my mind that I say, okay, this may be fun to tell. That was also in a piano with the Jongens van Weet wel.
Yep.
We played at a major festival in Breda.
Uh-huh.
That was Breda Live.
Oh, yeah.
And that was for then was the biggest gig I ever did. Also one of the biggest gigs for the Jongens van Weet wel. And we had to do a sound check before the doors were open of the festival. So we built up, everything was okay. But then we need to sound check. But the sound engineer just missed one mic. He had 3 mics or 4 mics, and one was another one, and he couldn't do the sound check with this other mic. He said, "No, you all four need to have the same mic." So he was searching for it, and everybody gets stressed, more stressed. Oh, you have to sound check. No, I need the same mic, and stress, and then also the organization was telling us, okay, you have to sound check because the doors needs to be open. And I said, okay, we need 5 more minutes. So okay, we keep the doors closed. So a couple hundred people were already waiting, and they keep the doors closed for us. So we have 5 more minutes. So I told the sound engineer, okay, this is the time where the door should be open. And I said, okay, we have now 5 minutes. We can do no sound check or do the sound check with a different mic. He said, okay, let's do the sound check with a different mic. And then he opened up his flight case to connect a talkback mic.
Yeah.
And there he found the mic he was looking for. So we could do a normal sound check, do a sound check for 2 minutes, and then the doors were open and everything was fine. But everybody was so stressed.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a story. But yeah, it's very very hard to. What will your story be?
Well, look,
If you can
there's
choose one story.
just a quick couple of things like crazy sex things happening at gigs.
Yeah.
I think I had one from Johnny where he came back to his hotel room and there was 3 people having a threesome in his bedroom that he didn't know.
Okay,
It was pretty messed
interesting.
up. Yeah, and things that happen on the gig like fights or
yeah.
people throw up beside
Yeah.
the piano.
Or that they say the wrong name for the bride.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah. I had it also with the Jongens van Weet, not
Yeah.
me, but my colleague.
yeah.
And yeah, he just met the wife of the singer that will sing after us, and then he announced the bride and with the name of the wife of the singer that would sing after us.
All right.
But he repeated it many times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've had actually times where I did a song that made the bride cry,
Okay.
and she'd run out of the room,
Oh shit!
It
Why?
was because it's something about a dad dying, and I had no
No.
idea. I just, oh, that song. It's like, what have you done? I was like, well, should have told me not to play that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mostly the crazy stories were about something weird happening with the audience. People falling off the stage onto the ground, off
Yeah.
the piano, drunk people throwing up,
Yeah.
fights, very funny fights between piano players.
Oh.
Yeah, Tim Bowie chasing, what's his name, James Barham out of the club.
Long time ago.
Long time ago,
Okay.
yeah, 2001, 2002 or earlier.
Okay.
And he was being cheeky to Tim, and Tim doesn't take that. He's like, no, and he's like, oh shit. He runs off, and he's off hiding from audience members that want to beat you up. That happened also. I think who did that happen with? I can't remember. One of the players from Crazy Pianos
Okay.
who was dissing the Americans. After 9/11, which
Okay.
wasn't a very smart thing to do.
No.
But so yeah, there's lots of crazy stories,
Yes.
man. But I mean, it depends on what's happened to you in your life, and there's some things I think I wouldn't repeat here as well. I mean,
Yeah. Sure.
crazy, messed up things that happen. But no, it's all good.
Yeah. But that was an interesting story, and we could laugh about it afterwards. But
Yeah.
when it happened, it was very stressful.
Yeah, that's the most stressful thing.
Yeah.
Having a problem with sound check.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not being prepared, but usually a little thing like that
Yeah.
can just.
And also once
Yeah.
at the gig, I played for a band, and they asked me for a date to play in a certain city, and said, okay, I'll be there, no problem. And then the gig was coming up, they sent a call sheet. I checked it for the time I need to arrive there. So I was well prepared. Put my drum set in the car
Yeah.
and put my Google Maps on. And then I saw, okay, it's not a 35 minutes ride, but it's a 3 hour ride. I think, man, how is that possible? So I called this guy. The address isn't right on the call sheet. He said, yes, it is. No, you told me to go to this city. No, that was the first gig. That was canceled. There was a new gig. And this is the call sheet of the new gig. It's in a different city. I said, man, but what time do I have to start? Yeah, somewhere around your arrival time. So I drove really fast. So I drove it in 2.5 hours. So we have time to put the drum set on stage and just start on time.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's
But
happened
it's
quite
also
a few
also
times. Yeah.
fucked up. So there's also a tip that you, if you get a call sheet, not only check the city, but what you've been told, but check the whole address.
Yeah, no, I've had actually that where I've put in the address and it's taken me to the wrong city. Yeah. With the same address. Same, I'm like, I'm out the front of a church and there's nothing here. Oh, no, not that city, this city. It's like,
Oh shit! Was it Valkenburg? Was it in the Netherlands?
it was in the Netherlands, yeah. I can't remember which one it was because it's happened to me a couple of times.
Yeah, because you have Valkenburg nearby The Hague.
Yeah.
But you also have Valkenburg in Limburg.
Yeah, it wasn't that far away. Actually, it was actually 45 minutes away.
Okay.
So I wasn't too far out, thankfully, but it
Yeah.
can happen, you know.
Can happen, yeah.
But yeah, thankfully that's not a problem. Hey, what about your? I was wondering if you had any advice to give yourself as a younger player. Now, if you were to go back in time
Yeah.
and you would see yourself starting as a piano player, what advice would you give to yourself?
The same advice as a drummer once gave me in the master class at the conservatory,
Uh-huh.
and that was to learn how to sing.
Oh yeah,
And back in the days, I didn't took that too serious. I started some vocal lessons,
Huh.
but didn't make time for it to learn it. Because
Huh.
also when you're a drummer, or guitar player, or whatever, if you sing, then you're more worth it for a band. Then you can do two things instead of one.
Uh-huh.
And but if I could give an advice, then I should give the advice to start earlier with singing,
Huh.
so that it will be a more in nature and more comfortable to do.
Yeah.
Because also I once asked for a band that had #1 hit in the Netherlands, and then they asked me, okay, do you are you able to play for this? Yes, I would love to, but do you can sing? And then I said, nah, man, I'm starting with vocal lessons. No, okay, we need somebody to sing. So
You lost the gig because of it.
nah, not surely lost, but if I could, then I was invited for the auditions,
Yeah, yeah.
and that is also when I start to sing, then it was I also get more work with the Jongens van Weet because I was singing more. I think that helped because when I wasn't singing at all, I think I couldn't do that much work for them,
Yeah, yeah.
because then there are other people that do deliver more for the gig.
Yeah.
So that will be the advice to learn singing. Although which instrument you play in doesn't matter, but I think every musician have to sing, or at least have to try it.
And what advice would you give to new players that are starting out that want to become a piano entertainer?
Yeah, go out to the piano bars and see as much piano players as you can.
Yeah, that's absolutely imperative.
Yeah.
That's really what it's all about.
Yeah,
You know,
you steal things from other ones
yeah, you got to
and
be.
make it your own twist of it.
Definitely was an advantage, I think, for you and other drummers is that being in the actual show, doing it time after time, you have really learnt the trade without, applying it to the piano. So you've got a bit of a head start already as long as you can get your head around playing piano and singing at the same time.
Yeah.
You've actually got all those skills from what you've been watching the whole time,
Sure, definitely, yeah, that
Is
helps
it-
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any online presence yourself?
I'm working on it.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm.
What about social media?
I don't do a lot with social media.
Hmm.
Maybe a shame, but I did it in the past, but I don't do it that much anymore.
Mhm.
But I when I started playing piano, some people ask me, okay, can you play here or can you play there? And when I play for another one, like if I play for the Jongens van Weet or play for who else, then I say, okay, yeah, you have to book the Jongens van Weet or you have to book them because you're working for them at that moment. But also in private situations, they ask me, "Oh, I see you. I know you're playing. Can you play at my party?" And then I say, "Okay, sorry, I don't have any gear. I just have a piano back home, but I don't have any gear." So 2 months ago, I bought my own piano gear, and also made a video. And only the sound of it is done. So I just make a compilation of some pictures with the sound in the background.
Yeah.
And I just have my website. I have a booking agency or a rental company where also some cover bands on it.
Yeah.
So I'll also put that band on it.
Oh,
and
cool.
now for 2 weeks.
What's the address of that?
The address is Jongens.nl.
JONES. Your last name.
NES. No, not my
Dunes.
last names. It has DJ in it.
Oh.
It has June, that means friend, or June. There's also this kind of English part of my last name, the first part of my last name. So that's how the company name starts.
I'll put the link in the description anyway.
The link is in the description. you can click here I'll make it easier for you. You can click here. No, but I have a rental company. Yeah. I just started before Corona.
Yeah.
Then I made my first investments of it. Then everybody knows the story about it. But I learned online marketing and use online marketing for this rental company. And now I have a lot of bookings with that as well. Last year it was around 600 bookings, 650.
Wow.
And this year I think it will be somewhere around 800 or 1,000 bookings.
Wow. Okay. And was that all due to your media marketing?
Yes, online marketing. Yes, it's all from Google with the online visibility of the company, and also gonna use these skills to market my own band.
Yeah.
So I'm using all these tools to promote it, but I just started like a week ago with it, and I now got one booking of it.
Oh, great!
So it's paying off, but that's for next year. But but I don't have to play couple times a week with this band because I like the combination of sometimes play a blues gig or play as a drummer somewhere or play dueling pianos in a bar or sometimes have your own gig. I like the combination a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do a bit of playing, shall we?
Yeah.
Why don't you head over to the piano?
Yeah.
What I was wondering was something that you find really easy, a good starting song, an icebreaker. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, what have you got for us? Tell us.
A song where I'm really comfortable about. That's a song from Bluff.
Yeah.
Because it's a very nice song to warm up the voice. It's not very high, and I like Bluff a lot. The band Bluff.
Same, really good band.
Yeah. And it's also the first single I ever bought was from the band Bluff.
Yeah, but you don't remember the single?
I don't remember the title of the song, but
I'm
it
curious.
Was the first,
curious what song that is.
I will WhatsApp.
Is it early
but
Bluff or late Bluff?
It's I don't know. I think it's 12 years ago.
Oh, okay. So
no longer. I think 20 years ago already. 20 years ago.
Is it up tempo or slow?
It's up tempo. Yeah, but it's not this song.
No, this is not up tempo.
But I like it a lot because they have nice songs and good singer, good drummer.
Yeah.
And it's a nice band. And also good for the beginning of the evening, in my opinion. Not too difficult to play on the piano. Ik kan nergens heen, maar in het zuiden wacht een vrouw nog steeds op mij alleen. Ze heeft flessen vol tequila en flessen vol gin. En dan neem ik mijn gitaar mee en mijn gouden ring. Er zijn vliegtuigstoelen, miljoenen bij bedoelingen. En bovendien zijn er limousines. En er zijn leugens over sterren die we toch nooit zien. Misschien neem ik Spanje als besluit en laat mijn schepen achter. Ik ga er tussenuit. Een vlucht weg naar een nieuw begin. Well, hop on my choo-choo. I'll be an engine driver in a bunny suit. If you dress me up in pink and white, we may be just a little fussy about it later tonight. When she's my angel, she's a little better than the one that used to be with me, 'cause she likes to scream at me. Man, it's a miracle that she's not living up in a tree with me. Take a holiday in Spain, leave my wings behind me, and drive this little girl insane. Fly away to someone new. Everybody's gone. They let the television screaming and the radio's on. Mijn schoenen zijn gejat, maar ik hoef niet meer naar buiten, want er is nog wel wat. Well, happy New Year's, baby. We could probably fix it up and clean it up all day. If we could simply pack our bags. We gaan meteen naar Barcelona, want we moeten hier weg. Misschien neem ik Spanje als besluit en laat mijn schepen achter. Ik ga er stiekem tussenuit, een vlucht weg naar een nieuw begin. En ik neem Spanje als besluit en laat mijn schepen achter. Ik ga er stiekem tussenuit, een vlucht weg naar een nieuw begin. Geef er de tijd om te rennen wie ik ben, al alleen. Sinds dagen vertragen tot ze stoppen of stilstaan. Geef er de tijd om mezelf terug te vinden. Ik maak alles goed en wat er overblijft, alleen is she said.
Nice one, man.
It's a little bit early for this high note at the end.
It's good. I love it. It's a really good song.
Yeah.
Who wrote that? Was that Joni Mitchell? No. Oh,
Counting Crows.
Counting Crows,
Yeah.
of course. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Joni Mitchell.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, great song. Huh? And of course, they did that in collaboration with Bluff, didn't they?
Yeah,
Counting Crows.
they did. Yeah,
And that's why it's got English and Dutch in it.
it is. Yeah,
It's a really cool
it's
song.
nice if you're with dueling pianos and when the other guy knows the
English
whole
part.
English part or the
Yeah.
whole Dutch part.
Yeah.
Because at the end it gets very messed up and
It
mixed
does.
up. But
It
it's nice. It's a nice song.
Yes, I got to say, I mean, I have played it with people multiple times, but I've never actually properly learned the English part,
Yeah.
which I should do because
It's
it works really well.
Yeah,
You know, it's
sure.
a good one to do.
So for the next gig you will learn the
Yeah,
English part.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Or only the last part of the English.
Yeah, that's, no, the whole thing would be good. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
not that hard,
No.
So, look, I mean, you have your own style of entertaining, and I would say that your style of entertaining really emanates from Jongens, Weet, style, because that
Okay.
that's a specific
Is that a style? Is that a
Yes,
specific
most
style?
definitely.
Is it?
It's a Ben style.
Okay.
It's based on how Ben does his entertaining. you know.
Okay.
And it's, what would I say about it? It's very, the approach of it is to really connect with the people.
Yeah.
But through conversation.
It
you
is.
know.
Yeah.
Like, and there's particular tricks that you use about how to communicate with people.
Yeah.
What do you think some of the things are that you use, the icebreakers that you use, like when you're trying to get the attention of people?
I try to learn the people by name.
Yeah.
So I also sometimes use like a small piece of paper and a pen to write down the names of people or the key people in a group.
Yep.
So when I ask somebody what's his name, then I sometimes write it down.
Yeah.
because then I easier
So
can understand all these names.
is that something maybe you'll go and ask the bar staff, hey, who's this group and what's it for?
No, not
do you ever do that?
no.
Or do you ask the people themselves?
Just ask the people themselves
Yeah.
when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
So then I ask them, if do you have to? Are you here to celebrate something,
yeah.
or is there? Sometimes you see there's somebody who gets married, or
Yeah.
then I just make up stories that are not true, but that it could be icebreaker. So then I sometimes tell them, okay, yeah, I heard about your girlfriend is getting married.
Yeah.
Your whole group is emailing our band all for weeks that you were coming tonight, and they telling a lot of stuff about you.
Oh,
They or
that's a good one.
then I just come up with stories, or it is a combination of stories that you learned over the past.
Oh, yeah, right.
Um,
And
freestyle
often
it.
here, and this is very Jongens, Weet, you
Yeah?
know, who's the boss of the table?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That's a very,
Yeah, that's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And also that's an icebreaker, because everyone thinks different about that, mostly.
Yeah.
Sometimes everybody points to one person, and then it's funny. But if everyone points to each other, that's also funny.
Yeah, that's a good icebreaker.
And then you can maybe choose the one
Yeah.
that won't be him, like
Yeah.
the more not the outgoing person, but just the opposite person, that you say, okay, I see that you're the boss of the table, and then he's like, oh
No. Yeah, and then that's kind
Yeah.
of funny, you know. Absolutely.
or that they lose the status when they ask songs that you don't like to play, or
yeah. No, that's a really good one, and of course the VIP thing that really came from Jongens, Weet. Oh,
that starts off in Breda, in the Studio Dependance.
Yeah.
Because there you have this venue that you come in, and then you go a few steps up, and then you have the stage a little higher than the people that are just coming in. So there's a kind of a barrier to go these few steps up to sit in front of a band, because there's a lot of stuff on stage, and there are like 6 tables. So if nobody's sitting there yet, it's a big barrier to get them there. So that then yeah, I think I still remember the gig when Benjamin first came up with the VIP table.
Yeah.
And just has rules with it, like this is the VIP table. You don't have to write down. You can interrupt us whatever you want. We will stop and listen.
Yeah.
We don't say no. We play every song you ask.
Yeah.
And you just can say it to us. We just stop, ask everybody to be quiet, and you can just say it to us, because you're a VIP.
Yeah, and he had another segment, 101 requests.
Yeah, 101 requests in 1 minute.
In 1 minute, that's right.
And I sometimes, say to Ben, you have this theme song, 100 minutes, 100 songs in 1 minute.
Yeah.
And then I say to the crowd, we mostly have a theme song that's always the same. But the last few weeks where we were in the studio, we mixed up a whole new theme song. And then you see Ben, oh shit, now I have to come up with a new theme song.
Oh yeah.
So we sometimes.
That's good fun. Yeah.
And we're not allowed to say no.
Yeah, which is great. It's fantastic. I mean, that's the whole fun of it. It's like the whole improv part is that you really just have to go with it.
Yeah.
And because I remember watching a bit on TV about improv, but stand-up, well, not stand-up, but in a group improv in some of these American shows.
Yeah.
Where they say, okay, but look, if you're doing yes and you really don't like where someone's going, you know, you could say, but then you fell over and broke your leg and you're a cripple and you couldn't speak, you know, and then that person's kind of trapped in this situation you've made for them where they're mute and they can't talk.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't like where that's going. But you don't say no, you say and then and then this happened and you were screwed and you're on the floor now, you can't talk.
Benjamin and I did a lot of funny stuff with that yes and a lot.
Yeah.
Even back in the day, sometimes it gets worse and worse. When somebody starts up with something, then the other one will make it worse, or the other one make it worse.
Yeah.
Or make it more funny. Yeah.
Oh, that's I mean, I do enjoy that.
That doesn't happen a lot anymore.
It doesn't. No, this is what I was referring to earlier in the podcast.
Yeah.
We were talking about that these kind of fun things, they're disappearing. It's becoming just more music, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like it needs to come back, to some
Yeah.
degree. I think that's fun, and it's like, obviously there's a fine line where you stop talking and play a song. You get that when you start doing too much of that stuff.
Yeah.
But this, it's got to be, it'd be great for change up, oh, let's do this song and let's do that to it. And then while
Yeah.
we're at it, why don't we get that person to do a dance in front of us,
Yeah.
Or get the bridesmaid up and get the vrijgezeller
Yeah.
up and get her to, do the gebouwteplop or do some silly dance,
Yeah.
I mean, I was really focusing on that not long ago because thinking, I need to do more of that. Because it's great to sing songs and that, but that can become very boring, just singing songs all the time.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And it's a great breakup to do what you're talking about. Yes, and I mean, that could be a lot of fun with two players,
Sure.
But it's difficult to find someone that's compatible to do that,
Yeah, but you can learn it, or just remember each other. Let's do more the yes and.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I mean,
But
you're talking about doing it with another piano player.
Yeah.
Originally this concept was developed through two piano players.
Yeah.
And they were the catalyst. But it works just as well with a drummer.
Sure.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And that's definitely something I would love to do more of, and I would like to work on.
Benjamin spent a lot of times during breaks to tell all these
All these ideas.
these rules and how to do or how to approach it, and don't forget it.
Well, that's great that you could have that feedback from Ben, and that you guys could talk about it and develop something. You know? It's that kind of thing just doesn't happen often anymore, where you have players that you can go, hey, let's get together and let's actually make a show and let's come up with some ideas.
Yeah, but you sometimes you play with so many drummers probably.
Yeah.
So if you have your own show and you play twice or three times a week with the same guys, then you can build something, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not in the rehearsal room because you need the crowd, you need the interaction to learn.
Yeah, you need to see what works on the gig for sure.
Yeah.
But you also do need to come up with ideas to try on the gig, because it's not always going to be spontaneously a good idea to think about things on the gig.
No.
What if you get together and go, hey, I thought of this, and what about you? What do you think we can do? Oh, what about this? Oh, we could try that. Okay, we'll try it the next gig. And so you go away and you think about it at home and you come up with a formula, and then you just try it on each other and see what works at the gig,
Yeah.
So I think, because I remember we had this discussion at Crazy Pianos at one point, the guys are like, oh, some of them. A long time ago. This was like, yeah, you know what? I just like to do it off the cuff. I'm like, well, that's cool, but it's also cool to think about what you're going to do before you do it. So you can come up with a bunch of ideas. And you can say, I don't think that'll work, or I think that will work.
No.
And say, oh, that's a good idea, but what about if we do this? And with the collaboration of two people thinking about it a little bit before, and then going to the gig and trying that in the moment. And if you hear that person start to go, hey, why don't we do such and such? You think, oh, yeah, we talked about this. Let's see if this works,
No.
And then you've already got an idea of the shell, of the outline of what's going to happen. So it's not completely rudderless, either one person has to know exactly what they're doing, or two people have to have a rough idea.
Yeah, rough idea.
And then improv has a space in that, of course. But the ideas don't come out of thin air; they come out of thought. You've got to have some good ideas, and even like if you really wanted to, it's good to have the variety of improv, but also of really planned stuff. So when you come out in a wig and you do Bon Jovi, and you've got this whole routine that you do, because, in the past, those things existed as well, with Stevie J doing his Tina Turner impression. And that was very particular. He did his thing and the players knew exactly what was going to happen. Now, a lot of that might have developed on the gig, but, a lot of it can be kind of figured out before the gig and then tried to implement it. And on the gig, you'll find that didn't work and you'll leave that out. And every time you do it, it'll get better and better. But you've got an idea before you go in that you're going to try something new. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah. And my approach is more that I come up with things just when I be there, or it's always a mixed up thing from everything that you have seen in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm normally not really busy about what I'm gonna say tonight or what I'm gonna do tonight.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm reading the crowd before we start, and I see, okay, there's something happening there. Maybe I can say something about that.
Yeah.
So that before the gig, that I see things that I ask for when I'm on stage, or that sometimes when that I come up with things before the gig, but not back home, that I think, okay, let's try it or let's try that.
Yeah, well, I mean, because all what you're saying now is talking to people is just one thing that you do.
Yeah.
You know, you've already done that many times before, and you can base something new on something that you already know.
Yeah.
But if you think, you know, why don't we do mashups of songs?
Oh,
you know, why don't we mash up 4 different tunes? You don't even have to do it. Okay, and then we can go, hey, can anyone guess what this song is? We're going to mash it up with 4 different songs. Can you tell us the 4 songs? Or, okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. And you think about, hey, let's do a special intro for each other.
Yeah.
You know that song such and such? I'm going to make an intro of you of that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, I'm going to do, what's a good song for you? Oh, what about this? Oh, yeah, okay. Let's try that on the gig.
Yeah, that can
now,
be nice.
you haven't
be nice, yeah.
exactly rehearsed it, but you've thought about this before. You come up and you've both got an idea, and maybe it doesn't work out on the gig. Maybe it works really well. You know, you can leave them, you can take them, but it's not always ideal on the gig when you're busy with entertaining already that you think about new ideas. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always felt that this is lacked. You know, there was never enough development, you know, at, you know, some of the gigs I do with players where we had time. And now I'm actually trying to do that with particular players when I think, oh, let's do something, you know, as a team.
Yeah.
And come up with some ideas and film them and just see how they work, you know.
Yeah.
And and make little shorts, you
Yeah.
know, and go, oh, you know, blah, 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 30 seconds, you know, of something funny, you know.
Yeah.
I did think of a few, actually. I tried with I don't know if you know the piano player, Bono.
I've seen his name on the schedule, but
Okay.
but I can't remember if I ever played.
Yeah, we
with
filmed some shorts, and we actually haven't released them yet because I've just been so busy. Where he dressed up, he put a wig on, he came on in as a girl, and he said, I want to sing a song. And he did it all by myself. And then,
where was it?
Mom! Just like absolutely screamed the last part. It was so hilarious.
Where was it?
Huh?
Where was it?
Here, in the studio.
Oh, here?
Yeah, so he had 2 pianos set up, and Orlando was drumming. And I was like, oh, who are you? And he goes, oh, hi, I'm such and such. I'd like to sing a song. Oh, okay, everyone, she's going to sing a song. And then she got up, I'm going to do it all by myself. And we just did all by myself.
Yeah.
Want to be all by myself anymore. That was the whole sketch, you know. So it was a lot of fun to do that, you know. And I really should release that. That's
Sure.
yeah, you know, but it just means I have to mix it and edit it, and God knows how much editing I'm doing at the moment. So
Yeah. You have a lot of editing to
I
do.
do,
if
man.
I see all these cameras and and microphones.
But it's good fun. I love it.
Cool.
It's
Cool.
you know, a little passion. So where are you playing at the moment?
I mostly play as a piano player in Rotterdam.
Yep.
Vrienden Live.
Yep.
And that's because there's dueling pianos.
Yep.
The things I'm not that expert as many other piano players, so I maybe can play 400 or 500 songs.
Yeah.
But I also use my telephone sometimes with it. And when you play dueling, you have time to search for songs.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people do. A lot of people use iPad or piano, iPhone or something to pull text up because you can't remember everything.
No, but
and maybe you know a song by hearing it, and you just need the text, and you think you can play it.
Yeah,
you know.
But I sometimes play it on my own. But I prefer to play with the drummer, and I don't put it on social media or stuff or tell a lot of people about that I play piano yet. Because
you're still working on it.
Yes, I'm still working on it and do the gigs with the Jongens van Weet. I now have my own band, and maybe do some gigs with that. And beside of that, I'm doing these blues gigs, sometimes small tours. In a couple.
You got anything happening in the summertime? You touring in the summer? This summer?
I think it's in beginning of September or October.
The end of summer.
I'll be in the a short tour with a guitar player as a drummer.
Oh yeah.
We go to Germany and Belgium and
Germany loves their blues,
yes.
don't they?
Yeah.
It's really big there.
Yeah, that people are happy to pay tickets for blues concerts, although they are well known or not well known. They just like it because there is a blues venue in the city and people go there.
What's your favorite city to play in
Favorite
Germany?
city, man. Yeah, maybe sounds. I think it's Berlin. Berlin, because you have this city is yeah, you have this openings hour still very late
Yeah, yeah,
everywhere, and it's a nice city. People were kind. I played there a couple of times.
yeah. What about Hamburg? Have you played in
Hamburg, yeah, as well. I can't remember that I went out in Hamburg.
There's the Reeperbahn. You know the Reeperbahn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I can't remember anymore that I went out there. But yeah, but when you're touring with this blues band, then you go into the city. You will be there around the afternoon. Then you check in your hotel,
Yeah.
go to the venue, build up the gear, have dinner, play, break down all the gear,
Off you go.
go to the hotel, and then go off to the next city. So, I,
No, you don't see
so
much.
so I've been there, but also didn't been there.
Yeah,
yeah,
I hear.
Yeah.
Totally. That's really interesting.
yeah.
I'd love to hear another song from you.
Yeah.
Right?
Should we do another one?
Yeah, sure. What have you got for us? Tell us.
I thought maybe it's a song from Ed Sheeran.
Oh yeah.
And it's a song also maybe sometime for beginning of the evening, because I thought maybe it's not very nice to play a very rock song in the morning, or I don't know what time it is now, but it's still it
No,
feels
it's 1 o'clock.
it's 1 o'clock
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
Okay, but let's do Ed Sheeran song.
Okay.
That song yeah, it's an artist I like. I've seen him play live, so
Yeah,
I got-
same. I thought he was fantastic.
yeah,
Really good.
Yeah.
You know,
he's very good.
beautiful
and
voice. Great player.
great singer and great songwriter.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to play a song of him.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. You and me are friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast and then talk slow. So come on over and start up a conversation with just me. And trust me, I gave it a chance. Now put my hands up, feel my man in the jukebox, and then we start to dance. And we're singing like, oh, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I might be crazy, don't mind me, said boy. Let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. And come on now, follow my lead. Ooh, I'm in love with the shape of you. You push and pull like a magnet too. You feel my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room, and now my bed sheet smells like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of when we let the story begin. We going out on the first date. You and me are thrifty, so go all you can eat. Fill up your bags and I fill up a plate. Talk for hours and hours about the sweet and the sour, and how your family is doing okay. So we get in a taxi, kiss at the backseat, let the driver make the radio play. And we're singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I might be crazy, don't mind me, said boy. Let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. And come on now, follow my lead. Ooh, I'm in love with the shape of you. You push and pull like a magnet too. I feel my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room, and now my bedsheet smells like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm
I'm in love with your body, every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Nice one, man. Nice one. Man, that was awesome. Thanks so much for that.
Yeah.
It was really good to have you on the show. I got some really interesting insights as a drummer piano player. You know,
Yeah.
I always find that really, really fascinating. You know, and of course, coming from the side of Jongens, Weet, which is something else.
Yeah.
You know, having your own perspective there.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for the invite.
You know,
invitation.
no worries, man. And good luck with your piano playing. I hope you really, you know, get your own band going and get into it more and more.
Yeah, and good luck with the podcast.
Thanks, man.
Looking forward to all the interviews.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to put them on when you're driving to your gig.
Exactly.
To hear the other players. Yeah.
Mate, thanks
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And good luck with everything, huh?
You too, man.
Cheers, man.
Yeah. Nice one. Yeah.
Thanks again for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as every Tuesday we interview another international piano entertainer. Check out our links in the description, and until next time, have a great week.